What if I told you that the woman you're interested in might be secretly attracted to you, but she's not saying a word? Sounds mysterious, right? The truth is, attraction isn't always loud or obvious, and women often express their feelings in ways that fly under the radar unless you know exactly what to look for. 'Tis easy to miss these hidden signals, especially if you're expecting something bold or overt. But once you start paying attention, you'll realize that these signs are right in front of you. Women are incredibly skilled at nonverbal communication, using body language, subtle eye contact, and even small, seemingly insignificant gestures to convey their feelings. These clues are so subtle that they often go unnoticed, but understanding them can completely change the way you approach relationships. Number 1. Lingering glance. The power of an unspoken connection. Have you ever caught someone staring at you, and for a moment, you wonder if it's just a coincidence or if something deeper is going on? Women, in particular, have this subtle way of using eye contact to communicate attraction without ever saying a word. That lingering look, when their eyes meet yours just a second longer than usual, it's not random, and it's not just about making sure they're not walking into a pole. It's a sign, often an unspoken one, that something's brewing beneath the surface. Imagine this. You're at a coffee shop, scrolling through your phone. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice a woman sitting across the room. You glance up briefly, and boom, your eyes lock. For a second, you think she might be looking at someone else. But no, it's definitely you, and she holds that gaze for a little longer than what feels comfortable. It's not a quick, "Oh, I was just glancing in your direction" kind of look. It's deliberate. This is where it gets interesting. That lingering stare isn't just a moment of random eye contact. It's a subtle, yet powerful cue. Think of it as her way of saying, "Hey, I see you." It's a quiet invitation to engage without saying anything aloud. But here's the tricky part. While this can definitely be a sign of attraction, it could also just be curiosity or distraction. She might be zoning out, and your face just happened to be in her line of sight. So, how do you know when it's a legit sign of attraction? Pay attention to how often this happens. If this gaze happens more than once, especially when you're not expecting it, like when you're talking to someone else or lost in your own thoughts, it's likely more than just coincidence. It's a signal that she's not just casually looking your way. She's locking eyes with you intentionally, and that means something's going on. Number 2. Subtle touch. The power of a gentle contact. A gentle touch can create an invisible bond between two people, a connection that's hard to describe but deeply felt. It might be as simple as a brush of the hand, a light tap on the shoulder, or even an accidental contact as she moves past you. In these moments, the touch is almost like a silent signal, an invitation to engage more deeply, an unspoken word that says, "I'm comfortable with you, and I feel safe in your space." For women, touch is often used as a way to express intimacy and closeness without the need for words. It's not always about romance or flirtation. It's about creating a sense of connection. A brief touch can signal comfort, trust, and openness. It's a delicate way of saying, "I'm here with you, and I want to be close," without vocalizing it. Yet, the next twist in this dynamic is that not every touch is loaded with romantic intent. Sometimes a touch is simply a social gesture, something that's meant to be friendly or polite. Women often touch others in casual settings, perhaps a pat on the back, a tap on the arm, or even a hand resting lightly on your shoulder in a group conversation. In these moments, the touch doesn't necessarily mean anything beyond friendly connection, and it's important to gauge the context and her overall behavior. For instance, when she brushes past you, is it just a fluke or an intentional move? Is the touch lingering, or does it feel like she's simply moving through space? Pay attention to how it feels. If she makes a point to initiate the touch, or if she seems to be waiting for a reaction, that's a clue that there's more to it. But if it's quick, almost accidental, and doesn't seem to carry any emotional weight, it's likely just a friendly gesture. Now, here's the tricky part. The line between friendly touch and flirtatious touch can be incredibly thin. A woman may touch you without thinking it means anything more than a casual social action. But if her touch comes with eye contact, a smile, or a certain warmth, it's worth taking note. This subtle form of connection is powerful, and understanding the intent behind it can be the key to knowing whether she's drawn to you or just being polite. As you tune into these moments, remember that the essence of touch is about comfort, intimacy, and connection. It's not always about the physical sensation, it's about the energy behind it. Whether it's a fleeting brush or a lingering hand, those touches can speak volumes about her feelings, if you know how to listen carefully. Number 3. Unspoken compliment. A woman may express her attraction to you not through direct compliments, but through subtle cues, glances, gestures, or the tone of her voice. For instance, she might not say, "You're very handsome," but her eyes could sparkle with admiration, or she might give you a deep, thoughtful look when you speak. These nonverbal actions can be far more telling than words. They reveal a level of respect and appreciation, and they create an emotional connection that words often can't match. These unspoken compliments act as silent signals that say, "I like what I see," or "I value your presence," without the need for direct acknowledgement. For example, imagine you're sharing a story with her, and as you speak, she tilts her head slightly, giving you her full attention. There's a slight smile on her face, and her eyes are focused on you. It's as though she's soaking in every word. In that moment, her body language is doing the talking. She's not outright telling you how impressive you are, but everything about her posture and gaze conveys a sense of admiration. It's a subtle yet powerful sign that she's engaged and interested, without saying a single word. Psychological studies have shown that when we receive praise, our brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical, which not only makes us feel good, but also enhances attraction between two people. This is why even small, unspoken gestures of praise or acknowledgement can create a stronger bond between you. Whether it's the way she looks at you when you talk, or how she subtly acknowledges your strengths, these cues are a form of complimenting you in a way that feels natural and comfortable. However, here's where the next twist comes in. Sometimes, women hesitate to express admiration directly. They might fear making things awkward or uncomfortable. There's a concern that being too forward or overtly flattering could cause you to feel pressure or even become self-conscious. In this case, the unspoken compliment serves as a safer alternative, one that still allows her to express her attraction without crossing the line into potentially uncomfortable territory. Imagine this. You're at a gathering, and someone else compliments you openly. The woman who's interested in you may not join in vocally, but instead looks at you with a knowing smile, her eyes lighting up in a way that says, "I see what they're saying, and I agree." This is her way of complimenting you without putting herself on the spot. She's engaging in an unspoken exchange of admiration, one that feels effortless and natural. Recognizing these subtle compliments is key to understanding her level of attraction. If you pay attention to the way she looks at you, the small changes in her tone, or the way she seems to genuinely appreciate what you say or do, you'll start to realize that words aren't always necessary to express admiration. These unspoken compliments can be just as powerful and sometimes even more so because they come from a place of genuine, unfiltered emotion. Number 4. Engaging conversations. When a woman is genuinely interested in someone, the conversation becomes more than just an exchange of words. She will ask questions that go beyond the surface, showing a desire to learn more about your life, your interests, and your experiences. For instance, instead of asking about your job in a generic way, she might ask, "What's the most fulfilling part of your work?" Or, How did you end up in this career? These questions reflect a deeper interest in who you are as a person. She will actively listen to your responses, engaging with them thoughtfully. If you share something meaningful, she might respond with, "That's fascinating. Tell me more about that." Or, "How did that make you feel?" This engagement indicates that she's not just being polite, but is genuinely invested in the conversation. Her responses show she's connecting with you emotionally, wanting to understand your perspective on life. What makes this interaction stand out is the level of attention and energy she puts into keeping the conversation going. If she's drawn to you, she'll naturally find ways to keep the dialogue flowing. She may share something personal about herself to keep the conversation balanced, saying things like, "I had a similar experience once," or "That reminds me of something I've been thinking about lately." This reciprocity of sharing and listening is a key sign that she's not just maintaining a casual conversation, but is building a deeper connection. However, it's not always easy to tell if she's genuinely interested in you or just being friendly. Many people are good at keeping a conversation flowing, but that doesn't necessarily mean they are emotionally invested. So, how can you differentiate between friendly small talk and a conversation that indicates deeper attraction? One way to tell is to pay attention to the depth of her questions. If she's consistently asking questions that encourage you to share more about your feelings or past experiences, it's a sign of genuine interest. For example, if she asks, "What's the most challenging thing you've ever had to face in life?" Or, "What's something you've learned about yourself that surprised you?" These questions go beyond the ordinary and show a desire to understand the complexities of who you are. On the other hand, if the conversation stays focused on light, surface-level topics, it could just be friendly banter. Questions like, "Do you like this place?" or "What's your favorite food?" are casual and polite, but they don't reveal much about emotional depth or personal connection. The key is to observe how engaged she is in the conversation. Does she ask follow-up questions that show she's paying attention, or does she move on quickly to another topic? If she's invested, she'll stay engaged with your answers, reflecting on them and adding her thoughts. If she's just keeping things light, the conversation will feel more like a casual exchange without much emotional resonance. In summary, if she consistently asks questions that invite vulnerability and shares her own experiences in return, it's a strong indication that she's trying to establish a deeper connection. Recognizing these signs will help you understand if the conversation is driven by genuine attraction or just friendly small talk. Number 5. Subtle gestures. When a woman is attracted to you but hasn't said it outright, her subtle gestures can reveal a lot about how she feels. These small, seemingly insignificant actions can speak volumes about her interest. For instance, if she remembers tiny details from your conversations, like your favorite hobby or something you mentioned in passing, this is more than just casual listening. It shows she's paying attention and values your words. Women who are genuinely attracted to someone often hold on to these details because it allows them to connect with you on a deeper level. Another example of subtle gestures is when she helps you without being asked. It could be something simple, like offering you a drink when she gets up, holding the door for you, or adjusting your jacket if it's cold. These actions may seem like common courtesy, but when there's a deeper interest, they reflect her desire to care for you. It's not just about being polite. It's a way of showing affection and building closeness without being overt. Picture this. She remembers how you take your coffee, and the next time you meet, she hands you the perfect cup. Or, after a stressful day, she offers to help you carry your things, or even checks on you to make sure you're okay. At first glance, these could easily be seen as friendly gestures, but the consistency with which they happen can signal something more. It's a quiet way of saying, "I'm thinking of you," without using words. However, it's easy to overlook these signs. You might think she's just being nice or helping out of habit, After all, some people are naturally kind and considerate. The trick is in noticing the pattern. If these gestures happen often and seem to go beyond basic politeness, it's a strong indicator of her attraction. To truly understand her feelings, observe how often these subtle acts occur and the context behind them. Does she offer help when others wouldn't? Is she the first to offer a kind word or a helping hand? These actions suggest she's making an emotional investment in you, signaling that her interest goes beyond surface-level politeness. In conclusion, subtle gestures are a powerful way for a woman to show she's attracted to you without saying a word. They may seem like small acts of kindness, but when viewed together, they can reveal a deeper emotional connection and a genuine desire to grow closer. Pay attention to these moments. They often speak louder than words. Number 6. Emotional openness. When a woman begins to open up emotionally, sharing her personal stories and deep feelings, it can be a clear sign that she wants to establish a meaningful emotional connection with you. Women are more likely to share intimate details about their lives when they feel safe, understood, and attracted to someone. It's a vulnerable act. She's letting down her walls, trusting you with pieces of herself that are usually reserved for those closest to her. This willingness to be open is often a sign that her feelings are deeper than simple friendship. For example, she might tell you about a difficult experience she went through, or perhaps share her dreams, fears, and aspirations. These are not just casual conversations. They are moments of emotional intimacy where she allows you to see her true self. When a woman feels attracted to you, these conversations become more frequent, and you might notice her opening up about topics that aren't usually shared with just anyone. Let's take a situation where she talks about her childhood, the things that shaped her, or personal struggles she has faced. In such conversations, her vulnerability is not just an attempt to relate, it's an invitation to connect on a deeper emotional level. By letting you into her emotional world, she's not only showing trust, but also testing the waters of how you respond to that trust. She's looking for someone who will understand, validate her feelings, and offer support. However, there's a crucial distinction to make here. While emotional openness can signify attraction, it can also simply mean she trusts you as a friend. The difference lies in how she shares her emotions. If she is only revealing personal information without showing any signs of deeper connection or affection, it could be a sign of friendship rather than romantic interest. On the other hand, if her emotional vulnerability is paired with other subtle signs of attraction, such as increased physical closeness or intimate conversations, it's likely that her feelings are more than platonic. For example, let's say she opens up to you about a past relationship and how it affected her. While this could simply be a moment of trust, the way she engages with you, looking into your eyes for understanding, seeking your opinion on what happened, could suggest she's testing the waters to see if you could offer her emotional support and care beyond just a friendly conversation. In conclusion, emotional openness can be a powerful indicator of attraction, but it requires careful observation. The key is to understand the context in which she shares her feelings. If the emotional sharing comes with signs of affection, like meaningful eye contact, physical closeness, or a desire to continue the conversation, it's a sign that she's interested in more than just friendship. It's her way of building a deeper bond with you, one step at a time. Number 7. The power of body language. A woman's body language is one of the most powerful and telling indicators of her attraction. When she is drawn to you, her physical gestures can speak volumes without her saying a word. For instance, if she leans slightly forward when you're talking, it signals that she is engaged and genuinely interested in what you're saying. This small but significant gesture shows that her attention is fully on you. Alternatively, if she mirrors your posture, it indicates a sense of connection and harmony. Mirroring is an unconscious sign of rapport and often happens when there's mutual attraction. Another noticeable cue is how she positions herself in relation to you. If she stands or sits closer to you than she does with others, it's a clear indication that she feels comfortable and connected. A woman who is attracted to you will instinctively reduce the space between you two, signaling an unspoken desire for closeness. Her proximity suggests that she feels safe with you and enjoys being around you. A particularly telling sign is when she adjusts her clothing or plays with her hair while in your presence. These subtle actions may seem casual, but they are often linked to attraction. For example, when a woman tucks her hair behind her ear or brushes it away from her face, it's often a subconscious gesture to make herself more approachable or to subtly draw your attention to her. Similarly, adjusting her outfit, whether smoothing down a sleeve or subtly adjusting a neckline, can be an unconscious way of trying to look her best in front of you. However, these physical signals can also be easily misinterpreted. Sometimes the body language may be rooted in comfort and familiarity rather than attraction. A woman could lean toward you or adjust her appearance simply because she feels at ease in your presence, not necessarily because she has romantic feelings. This is where the challenge lies. Distinguishing between genuine attraction and simple comfort can be tricky. For example, imagine you're having a conversation with her at a social gathering. She's leaning in, engaging with you, adjusting her hair and clothing, all while maintaining eye contact. You might think these are signs of attraction, but it's important to consider the context. If she behaves the same way with others, it may simply be her social style, not an indication of romantic interest. In summary, body language can reveal a lot about a woman's feelings, but it's important to read the full context. Leaning in, adjusting her appearance, or reducing space between you two are all signs of attraction, but they can also indicate comfort or familiarity. To truly understand her intentions, pay attention to the overall pattern of her behavior and consider the subtle cues that go beyond the surface. Number 8. The playful tease. When a woman teases you playfully, it's more than just a casual joke. It's often a sign that she's attracted to you and testing the waters of your emotional connection. Her teasing may come across as lighthearted banter, but it's her way of engaging with you in a way that reveals her interest without being too forward. For example, she might gently poke fun at your taste in music or make a playful comment about your fashion choices. These small gestures are a subtle form of flirtation, signaling that she feels comfortable. Playful teasing can also be a way for her to test how well you handle playful challenges. It's like a mini trial of your emotional maturity. How well can you take a light jab without getting defensive? If you respond with humor and confidence, it shows that you're secure in yourself and not easily rattled, which is an incredibly attractive trait. For example, if she jokingly points out how you always forget your keys, you can laugh it off and counter with, "Well, I'm just giving you an excuse to come over and help me out." This witty, confident response not only shows that you're not taking the teasing seriously, but also allows her. But here's the twist. Sometimes, her playful teasing might not be as innocent as it seems. While it may come off as a lighthearted jab, it could be her way of gauging your reactions to subtle flirtation. If you're able to handle it with grace and wit, it signals to her that you're someone who can keep up with her playful energy. This is a sign that she may want to move the interaction forward, possibly even into deeper romantic territory. However, the line between playful teasing and simply joking around can sometimes be blurred. Not every playful comment is meant to signal romantic interest. Sometimes a woman may tease you just to break the ice or to bond on a friendly level without any deeper emotional connection. It's important to read the context of the situation and see if the teasing is happening alongside other signs of attraction, such as prolonged eye contact, subtle touches, or personal questions that show interest in your life. For example, imagine you're out at a coffee shop and she teases you about the way you sip your drink, saying, "Is that how you drink your coffee?" or are you auditioning for a commercial? If you respond with a playful smile and a quick retort, it shows that you're comfortable with her teasing, and she'll likely feel more at ease continuing this playful dynamic. But if you react defensively or become embarrassed, it may cause her to pull back, unsure whether you can handle lighthearted exchanges without taking them too seriously. In the end, the playful tease is her way of flirting, a way to see if you're emotionally available and able to match her energy. It's a delicate balance. If you take it in stride, it can deepen your connection. If you falter, it may cause her to hesitate, unsure if she should continue. Her teasing reflects her attraction, but the key lies in how you respond, turning what could be a simple joke into an opportunity for deeper connection. Number 9. Subtle signs of jealousy. Jealousy often reveals feelings that words can't. If a woman reacts noticeably when you interact with another woman, perhaps her smile fades, her tone changes, or she subtly redirects the conversation, it could signal that she values your attention. These small but telling actions often arise when emotions are involved, even if she tries to hide them. For instance, imagine you're chatting with another woman at a gathering. She might make a casual yet pointed remark like, "You two seem to get along well," paired with a slight edge in her voice. Or she might move closer, laugh louder, or suddenly involve herself in the conversation, subtly reclaiming your attention. Sometimes her jealousy might manifest in teasing comments or playful competition, like saying, "So, she's your type," in a joking tone. While the words seem harmless, the underlying emotions can hint at a deeper attraction. Alternatively, she might quietly withdraw, avoiding eye contact or appearing less enthusiastic, a more subtle but equally telling response. However, not all jealousy signals romantic interest. Some women are protective friends who naturally feel territorial. To differentiate, observe other cues. Does she seek deeper conversations with you, show consistent interest in your life, or behave differently when you're alone? These layered behaviors often point to a romantic connection. A real-world example might be her reaction to praise you receive from another woman. Instead of simply congratulating you, she might jokingly downplay it, saying, "Well, she's just saying that because you're charming." These comments, though lighthearted, often reveal her desire to be special in your eyes. Jealousy alone doesn't confirm attraction, but when paired with other signs, like playful teasing or deep emotional openness, it strengthens the case. Paying attention to her consistent behaviors, especially how they shift when you're with others, can uncover her true feelings. Understanding the subtle signs a woman exhibits when she's attracted to you can be a game changer in navigating relationships. From lingering glances to playful teasing, these signals offer a deeper glimpse into her feelings, though it's crucial to interpret them with care. Recognizing the difference between friendly gestures and romantic interest can help you build a stronger, more genuine connection. If you want to keep learning more about reading attraction and enhancing your relationship skills, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more insightful tips and guidance to elevate your dating game.